I'm Chris,
And I'm Kiley. And this is Redefining Resilience,
where we explore what it means to build a resilient lifestyle
so you can thrive in any and every situation. So, reality of the situation here is we all only get 24 hours in a day, and you have to be selective about how you spend your time. And there are a gazillion podcasts out there that you could be listening to.
A gazillion.
A gazillion, exactly. So think of this episode as your table of contents. This is what we're going to be talking about for at least the foreseeable future. We're going to have additional seasons. We may dive deeper into some areas that we're going to scratch the surface on. But this episode is really designed to give you a table of contents so that you know what to expect in future episodes. A resilience roadmap, if you will.
So first, what is a domain?
Think of the domains as the 6 pillars of resilience, the 6 ways in which we can develop our resiliency. And you may hear Chris refer to them as tenets. I call them domains or 6 areas of resilience.
It's just breaking down resilience into 6 different pieces.
Yep.
So the 6 domains or tenets of resilience are vision, composure, reasoning, health, tenacity, and collaboration.
We have an assessment that we use to evaluate where your resilience is today. And unlike other models or assessments, it's okay to have strengths in some areas and have lower scores in other areas. In this particular model, we want to be strong in all 6 areas. So if you feel like, oh, I'm pretty resilient because I have these 4 out of 6 down pat, well, we want to be great at 6 out of 6 to have a truly solid foundation for resilience.
And that's why we both like this model so much, because each domain builds on the previous domain, but we'll get more into that later.
So let's get a quick overview of the 6 domains and some of the concepts that we're going to explore along the way.
All right. So we start with vision. What is vision?
Vision is having a sense of purpose, clear goals, clarity around your priorities, and the ability to make sound decisions based on where you know you want to go.
So as a part of this vision domain, we'll talk about core values, finding your purpose, setting goals, and establishing boundaries.
Ooh, boundaries.
I know. Building the vision domain is about establishing a new filter for decision making and a guide for where you spend your energy, which is vital. But how do we implement this into our normal world?
That brings us to our next domain, composure. Composure is your ability to stay calm and in control when you're in stressful situations or facing adversity. This is the domain that will help you learn to manage difficult situations and recognize and understand your emotions. In this domain, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, or EQ, how your brain functions. We'll get a little bit into neuroscience. And the impact of your emotions and why mindfulness is an important part of being able to keep your composure.
Once we've built composure, we're able to work through things easier and become less reactive. Next, we'll dive into the reasoning domain so we can learn how to process all the stuff life throws at us.
Reasoning might be my favorite one because this is where you get to be super smart and think about how you think. Reasoning is your ability to creatively solve problems through resourcefulness and action-oriented thinking. In this domain, we're going to discuss the importance of mindset, time management, and even the effects of ADHD because both of us have ADHD.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I live with you and I know you do.
Yes. It's important to note the relationship between reasoning and composure when working through adversity. Reasoning needs composure to be calm and in control, and composure needs reasoning for preparation.
So we're halfway through the 6 domains, and so far we've talked through vision, composure, and reasoning. These 3 are all about what goes on in your mind. But one of the foundational components, actually the foundational component to resilience, is how we take care of our body. So that brings us into the next domain, which is Chris's favorite. So I will let you talk about this one.
I wanted to name it the Ewing domain, but
It's
she
not.
wouldn't let me. So we're just going to call it health. Health and resilience are intertwined. Your physical health affects your resilience and well-being, while your resilience affects your ability to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
What a vicious cycle. It's like the chicken or the egg.
Yep.
Mind over body.
You don't take care of one and it destroys the other.
Exactly.
In the health domain, we'll dive into the benefits of forming good habits for sleep and movement. Habits is the goal we're looking for here, along with the importance of gut health and the difference between good and bad stressors. All the stuff I talk about all the time. Once we establish good practices for a healthy body to maximize our output, we can expand our training into the next domain, tenacity.
Tenacity is your ability to stay optimistic and persevere through adversity. It teaches us how to hold on through the storm, as well as know when it's time to change course. As we explore this domain, we'll tackle tough questions like what is motivation? How do we develop realistic optimism? And how do we handle failure? Because these are all real life components that we're faced with every day. So we've got one domain left. It's the culmination of the 5 we've discussed so far.
The culmination. Collaboration. Those sound really close. The collaboration domain is about learning to put the right people in your life so you can keep up with the healthy habits and resilience you've built. It's important to note this is not about introverts versus extroverts. It's about understanding the role other people play in your resilience. You need close connections and a support network you can rely on if you want to maintain your long-term resilience.
You know, at the end of the day, we as humans are pack animals. We are not meant to do this alone. So in this domain, we're going to talk about you being able to control your environment, building up your inner circle, embracing conflict, and the importance of mentorship.
Now let's revisit why it's important to examine these domains in a specific order. Each domain builds on the previous domains, creating a framework for you to build a more resilient lifestyle.
For example, if you skip composure, you won't be prepared when things go wrong because it's going to be easier for you to feel out of control and then not be able to use your reasoning skills and think clearly through problem solving. And similarly, if you skip health, your tenacity is going to suffer because you haven't built a body that can sustain you. And you're not going to be able to maximize your mental ability to persist in the face of adversity.
If you firmly establish the domains in order, you will build a foundation of personal resilience that will help you not only face adversity, but get the most out of life, no matter the circumstances.
Remember, you can always come back to this episode if you want to check back in with the roadmap and see where we're at. Now, let's start redefining what it means to be resilient. Thanks for listening to Redefining Resilience.
To learn more about building your mental and physical readiness, check out odysseyresilience.org.
And follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Dun, dun, dun.
Boom, baby.